This is homework set 33, operations with exponents. We are going to do a whole bunch of problems all at once here. Let's start here with question 1. Question 1, we're to compute 6 squared. Well, 6 squared, this is just equal to 6 times 6, which is 36. Let's go to the next one. 4 squared. 4 appears twice in that multiplication, so this is going to be 16. Now, negative 3 squared, just be careful. The 2, the square, applies only to what is directly below it, which is the 3. So this is going to be negative 3 times 3, which is negative 9. Let's put boxes around these. Now, in the next one, I'm going to have negative 4 squared. Now, this is going to be, if I write it out, or here's what I'm thinking, negative 4 times negative 4, right? That negative 4 appears twice, so now I get negative 4 times negative 4 is 16, so I get negative 16 out of this. Number 5, question 5, 2 to the 4th. This is 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. That 2 appears 4 times in that multiplication, which is 16. 2 times 2 is 4, times 2 is 8, times 2 is 16. 9 fourths squared, this is question 6. Let's get 9 fourths times 9 fourths, which is 81 sixteenths. Or, just, what are you going to do here? You're going to square the top, square the bottom, right? So you can distribute that 2 through that division. Now in the next one, number 7, I'm going to think of it as negative 2/3 times negative 2/3, which is going to be 4/9. And in number 8, I got a multiplication. So if it's multiplication, what do we do with the exponents? You're going to add them. So we're going to get x to the 7th plus 2, or x to the 7th plus 2. So we're going to get x to the 9th out of this. All right, so be careful. It's a multiplication. So what operation is right below multiplication? Addition. All right, so don't multiply those exponents. You're going to add them. Now, in question 9, this is 2 to the 5th, 2 squared to the 5th. So what I'm going to do here is I see that I have a power. Now, what operation is directly below power? It's multiplication. So I'm going to multiply these exponents. So I'm going to get 2 to the 2 times 5, which is 2 to the 10th. And I'm going to leave it like that. That's too big to actually multiply out. Now, number 10, 6 times negative 2, negative 12, and x to the 4th times x to the 6th is x to the 4 plus 6. So how about if we get negative 12 x to the 10th? And number 11, I'll write this one out with those negatives. I'll get negative 3x to the 4th times negative 3x to the 4th. How about positive 9 x to the... Now, you're going to add these exponents. You're multiplying, so you add the exponents. Now, if I was to do that up here, I'm raising to a power, so now I would multiply the exponents. But either way, I'm going to get an 8. Question 12, let's eliminate that negative exponent here first. So I'm going to rewrite this as 1 over 8 squared, and that's going to be 1 over 64. Now, number 13, I'm going to rewrite that with a positive exponent. So how about 1 over, now, this is negative 5 squared. That's going to be 1 over, now, negative 5 times negative 5, positive 25. So this is 1/25. And number 14, multiply the 4 and the 5, we'll get a 20. Now, what can you do here, if anything? I got x to the 7th, y to the 5th. Those are completely different factors, so I can't add those exponents. So I'll just leave it as it is, x to the 7th, y to the 5th. And in number 15, let's make that multiplication. 4 times 4, I'll get a 16. And then what do you get with those x's? I got an x squared. Oh, you know what? That's the only x there, so I'm just going to get an x squared. And what about the y? Okay, the y, that's the only y, so I'll just get y to the 4th. And then z, all right, well, look at the z. I got z squared times z to the first. So just add the exponents. 2 plus 1 is 3. Question 16, I've got a division. Now what do you do with these exponents? I have the same base, so what do I do with the exponents? Well, division, what operation is right below division is subtraction. So I'm going to subtract the exponent. Top minus bottom. This will give me x to the negative 2 minus 6 is negative 8. Now I'm going to rewrite that so there's no negative exponents, positive exponents only. So I'm going to write this as 1 over x to the positive 8. Now I could have done this. Here's what I could have done. I could have brought this x to the negative 2, bring that down, right? Rewrite this with a positive exponent. So this would come down. That would leave a 1 on the top. And then I'd have x to the 2, x to the 6, still giving me 2 plus 6 is that 8. Now in 17, I've got x squared divided by x to the negative 3. So again, it's a division. So I'm going to subtract those exponents, top minus bottom, x to the 2 minus, be careful with those negatives. This gives me x to the 2 plus 3, or how about x to the 5th, which I could have also gotten by doing this. What if I just bring this x to the negative 3 up, right? Change the sign of the exponent. Make it a positive exponent, so I bring it up. So that would give me x squared. Bring it up, x cubed, add those together, I get the x to the 5th. Now in 18, here's one way to do this. I see a division, I could just do a subtraction of exponents, getting a to the negative 6 minus the negative 3, right? See it? Top exponent minus bottom exponent. This gives me a to the negative 6 plus 3. That gives me a to the negative 3. Now, eliminate that negative exponent, change it to a positive by dropping that a into the denominator, a to the positive 3, 1 over a cubed. Or, I could do this. Eliminate the negative exponents right from the beginning, right? So if I eliminate the negative exponents, remember I can change the sign of an exponent if I change the position of the base. So that a is going to come down. Right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring this a down and that one up. So that will look like this now. It will be a to the 3rd over a to the 6th. And now I could do a subtraction, top minus bottom. So I could do this, a to the 3 minus 6. So how about a to the 3 minus 6 gives me a to the negative 3. And then still I bring that down, get rid of the negative exponent. So I'm kind of right over here now. So I get 1 over a cubed. Or, just think of it this way. If I'm back here, what have I got? I've got 3 a's on top. Here's what I'm visualizing. A. And on the bottom, there's 6 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Cancel them. So what's left on the top? A 1. And what's left in the bottom? A cubed. Number 19, I've got a quotient to a power. There's a couple ways to do this. Let's do it both ways. Here's what I could do. I could simplify inside here first. Now it's a division, so subtract the exponent. So 10 minus 8 is 2. So simplifying inside the parentheses, I'd get this. X squared, right? 10 minus 8 is a 2. Now raise that to the 5th. And now I have a power raised to a power. So I multiply the exponent, right? What operation is directly below power? Multiplication. So I'd multiply them, getting x to the 2 times 5. How about x to the 10th? Okay? Or I could do this. I see that globally I've got a power. In what's right below power? Multiplication and division. So I can go ahead and distribute. So I could write this now like this. X to the 10 times 5 over x to the 8 times 5. This will give me x to the 50th over x to the 40th. And then I've got a division, So just subtract the exponents. So now I get x to the 50 minus 40, x to the 10th. Same thing I got up here. Either way works. And in number 20, you know what I think I'm going to do here? I think I'm going to go ahead and simplify the top, simplify the bottom. So doing so, what have we got up here? I've got a power raised to a power. So multiply the exponents. So this is going to be x to the 7 times 7, or just do it in your head. And in the denominator, same thing, x to the 7 times 5. So I get x to the 49 over x to the 35th. And now I'm going to subtract the exponents. I got a division, so I subtract the exponents, top minus the bottom. So I get x to the 49 minus 35 is 14. This is homework set number 33. That finishes up our first collection of problems on homework set 33.